how to plan a homeschool day, a homeschool life. Take 2. I just did a video and it was kind of a train wreck, so I deleted it and I wanted to start over because I think this is so important. Pause for a second and take all of the academic stuff and just set it aside just for right now. Forget where your kids are reading, math, all that stuff. And think about your life. Think about the stage of life that your kids are in, the stage of life that you're in, the rhythm of your family, who's working, who's not working, when do you guys have your activities together, whatever they are. And take the time to map that out. What does your life look like without school? When do you wake up in the morning? Do you have responsibilities that you share with the kids and with each other throughout your day? Do you have chores? Do the kids have any jobs or hobbies or that kind of thing? Do you have a job or a hobby? Map out your week in a way that on paper, you look at it and you're like, yes, this is how I want to live my life. I want to get up and I want to exercise and I want my house to be clean and I want to make and prep, healthy, wonderful meals. I want to touch bases with my mom or with a friend. Map your day out. I want my kids to have this kind of a schedule. My babies, I need to make sure that they're resting. I want to make sure that we have quiet time in the afternoon where we'll all just pause for an hour or two in the mid-afternoon. Take the time to map out your life in a way that you feel good about it. You feel like, oh, this is living. This is life. It's going to look different for absolutely everybody. Once you have that mapped out, take a day off because that's a big task in itself, but take a day off and then look at it with fresh eyes. Where are the quiet pockets of time in the day? Is there a quiet pocket in the morning? Is there a quiet pocket in the afternoon? What kinds of things do I want to be discovering and learning and teaching with and to my kids? That's where those times get used. If you have a quiet time in the morning, that's perfect for some math type activities. If you have a quiet time in the afternoon, that's perfect for read alouds, quiet reading, art project, science project, etc. I think that as homeschoolers, we forget the home part and we try to squeeze life in between math and English and science and history and art and music and baseball and basketball and rowing and cooking and cleaning and all the things. And it's such a mistake because after 25 years of homeschool, where all the kids can read, they're all potty trained, they all almost drive, they have jobs, they have degrees, they have dreams, they have all these skills and talents and abilities. I can tell you that the best times that we ever had in homeschool were not the ones where it was 8 o'clock is math, 8:30 is reading, 8:45 is spelling and history and science and all the things. That's not where the magic happened. The magic happened where we put homeschool aside and said, we're going to walk for 2 miles in one direction and then 2 miles back every single day. And that's how we're going to start our day. And then after 2 weeks, they open up their heart and they share, oh, this is what I want to do with my life. Can I share with you what my hopes and dreams are? It's in the pockets of time where we gave life priority. Life had its first place on our checklist. Life of family and relationships and responsibilities, the drudgery of things like laundry and cooking and cleaning. When we gave those precedents, and then we popped in learning activities where the kids were excited, where the kids were interested, where we were excited, where we were interested. When we practiced math facts as sing-alongs in the car on the way to the park to go play with friends. When we looked at receipts and tried to decide, did we get a good deal? Did we guess the right price at the grocery store? Where we wove learning activities right in between changing the laundry from the washer and the dryer, emptying the dishwasher, Oh, cleaning up all that laundry off the floor in your bedroom before I come bag it and give it to Goodwill. Fitting learning in life is the magic of homeschool. Is there a time for scheduled academics? For some, but not all homeschoolers. If your kids are on an academic path where they're going to be PhDs, have master's degrees, they're going to be doctors, lawyers, that kinds of things, there's a place for rigid scheduling. But it doesn't come early in life. It comes later in life. It comes like in the high school or the late high school things. Make time to live your life and to design your life in a way that when you put your head on your pillow at night, you exhale sweetly. You're like, this is why we homeschool. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your kids read. It matters that they read. It doesn't matter what their handwriting looks like as long as it's legible. Can you read what is written? More importantly, can they read what they wrote? Don't panic if they're 7 and you can't read their handwriting. Don't panic if they're 12 and you can't read their handwriting. Communicate the fact that the purpose of writing is to communicate. That's it. Sometimes it's to inform about something. Sometimes it's to explain something. Sometimes it's just purely for entertainment. Sometimes it's to persuade or to argue. There's different types of communication. And have that be the core of the conversations that you have about writing. You know, we're writing so that you can express your ideas, or that you can share that amazing story that's inside of you, or that you can explain why you XYZ, whatever it is. Don't get hung up on what to teach your kids to write. Teach them why they're going to be writing. Why do we need to have written words? So that we can capture our thoughts, capture ideas, and share them with different people, different audiences around the world. The curriculum doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could hide every textbook on the planet. Every textbook. You could shred every test on the planet and still have the most brilliant kids grow up right in your house, right in between switching laundry, right in between cleaning up the dog poop in the backyard, right in between making a meal for someone that just had surgery and delivering it to them, and scooping up their laundry, and then washing their laundry, and then bringing it back. You end up with kids that live their life, right? It's so important. Mom, Dad, don't get hung up on the school part, the school schedule, the school routine. If you're standing in your house, here's a little thing. If you're standing in your house or sitting in your house right now and you look around and you just see chaos, disaster, disorder, disarray, if your kids are arguing, complaining, and fighting, if you had to order takeout more than a couple times this last week because you just couldn't even make it to the freezer, push all of the school aside, all of it. Push it all aside. This is where I get to be gray-haired Bekki that's 25 years down the road, and I get to tell you, put your life in order. Get rid of the chaos. Get rid of the confusion. Get rid of the disorder. Whether it takes a day, a week, a month, or the next year, all of 2023 dedicated to putting your house in order so that everything has a place and everything's in its place. I'm sitting right here, 20 feet away from my teenage boys' rooms that need me to go in there and bag up their stuff because they've decided that their dresser is not used to hold clothes. So I'm going to go bag their stuff. And I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna let them earn back clothing one piece at a time. And I think the price is gonna be 50 push-ups per piece of clothing. Now don't like report me or like have a heart attack. My boys are men. They shave. They work hard. But they're lazy right now and they're not cleaning their room. And what Does it profit them if they get their schoolwork done, but they live like pigs? It's like, I don't think so. So if you're in that place where you look around and there's areas in your life that need your attention, I want you to exhale. School can wait. Life can't. So look around and see what needs your attention and focus there. Focus there first. Design your life in a way so that you wake up and go to bed and live your life in a way that you're proud of. And weave in a little bit of school. Wrong word. Weave in a little bit of delighting together, exploring together, learning together, reading together. And at the end of the day, at the end of your homeschool journey, you will not regret it. Don't do school. Do life. Life. Do the home stuff. Design your home and your life in a way that your kids thrive, that you thrive, that your marriage thrives, that there's joy and peace, and it's worth the time. It's worth the effort. It's worth the struggle. And I'm telling you, it might be a big struggle at first. When I first went through and purged my house, I had to do it with a friend because I didn't have organizational skills. I still don't have organizational skills, but I didn't have the ability to do it. And I had a friend that actually my husband roped into coming to my house for 2 weeks solid. And all we did was dump every drawer and every shelf and every room. And we created a wall of cardboard boxes. And every time I grabbed something, she'd make me look at it and say, "What is it?" I'd say, "It's a pen." She says, "Do we have a category for pens?" I would say, "Office supplies." And she'd go, "Office supplies. Do we have a box labeled office supplies?" If we did, that's where it went. If we didn't, we got another box and we wrote office supplies and we put it in there. And we boxed my entire house. It took 2 weeks because it was a disaster. And then when it was all said and done, we looked at all the boxes and we decided, do pens and markers need their own category, etc. And then we bought bins together. Actually, my husband bought a whole bunch of bins and we donated a whole bunch of stuff. We threw away a whole bunch of stuff. We organized everything, put everything in bins. And I remember a year later calling my friend in tears and saying, "You're never going to guess what I'm doing." And she's like, "What?" I go, "I'm dusting." She's like, "Okay." I go, "No, you don't understand. In the past, my house was so chaotic that in order for me to get to the point that I could dust would take me so long that I would never get there. And taking the time to purge the house and to organize it gave me space in my life to dust and have it not be a big deal." And I'm telling you that as a homeschool mom, a homeschool dad, a homeschool family, you don't have to have this meticulously clean museum that people live in, where you're always like harping after them. But it's worth the effort to put your house in order. It's worth the effort to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff if you don't need it, to organize a whole bunch of stuff, to work with your kids to build them up so that they know what to expect in the cycle of your day. When you wake up, what's after breakfast, what's right before lunch, what's right after lunch, etc. Design your day. And then start weaving in academic-y looking things along the way. Especially if your kids are not quite yet in high school. Just do it. You will never, ever, ever regret it. Don't do school. Do life. I promise you. Do life. Do life. Do life with learning along the way. And it works out. It will work out in the end. If you need to talk about this, I'll put a link and we can chat on the phone. Have a great day. Go do life. Bye.